The Economic Partnership Agreement and the CSME Standby Facility projects are funded by the European Development Fund and are managed by the Caribbean Development Bank. The EDF is the main instrument for providing European Union aid for development cooperation to the African, Caribbean, and Pacific states and Great Britain's overseas countries and territories. From manufacturing, trade, skills training, agriculture, and entrepreneurship, we highlight the projects that have been put in place to benefit the countries in the CSME and really show how funding is changing the sectors, businesses, and lives of people around the region. The country of Grenada is dedicated to the enhancement of its people and the industries in which they operate. In matters of trade, the country is excited about the potential of the future, including the help of funding from the EPA CSME standby facilities. With over $400,000 invested in 2 major projects alone, these grants are helping the enhancement of business, human resources, and the development of a nation.
When we signed on to the EPA arrangement in 2008, we made it very clear that we will need resources, we will need technical assistance in order to benefit. The EPA unit was funded under the standby facility, and that has helped us to put structures in place, to put legislation in place. Because when you negotiate a trade agreement, what you are negotiating is market access. And we broaden it to deal with the movement of people and services. So it's not only goods that you have market access under the EPA. But of course we have a supply side constraint, we have capacity constraint. And therefore we sought to get assistance.
The National Training Agency, through the funding of the CSME Standby Facility, will assist in strengthening the boat building and yacht repair sectors in the nation's economy.
The marine sector in Grenada is one that is very vibrant. Even when we had the economic downturn a few years ago, the marine sector continued growing. However, we do not have occupational standards that are yet approved by CARICOM for certification of persons with CVQ in any of the marine areas. CVQ is the Caribbean Vocational Qualification. It's a qualification that was implemented by CARICOM through the Caribbean Association of National Training Agencies to be able to facilitate the free movement of workers, skilled workers across CARICOM. And so we are working to develop occupational standards for yacht repair and for traditional boat building.
It is important that we maintain standards, that we have the ability to meet the standards that's set in Europe. It is important for agriculture. So for example, the HACCP program that we introduced with funding under this facility will help improve on our standards. The refrigeration facilities and everything that goes towards preserving our fruits and vegetables, because you know they have short lifespan, shelf life. So this area, we as a government, we want to increase our export. So we have an export strategy. And this funding is helping the marketing board to put in the right facilities that will improve on the quality of the goods when it is exported.
This is a very strategic project for us, very, very important. And so our packhouse upgrade is going to give MNIB the capacity to continue to purchase from our 2,100 farmers, to move from 4 million pounds to 6 million pounds of produce annually, and to do this in a facility and an environment that is safe and conducive, so that we can say to our local population here in Grenada, or even the exporters that we send to in the international community in Europe, in Canada, and throughout the other Caribbean islands, that any item that you get from the Marketing and National Importing Board, be it produce, is fit and safe for human consumption, in that we've done everything reasonable to ensure that our facility and our processes are safe for the produce that we trade with.
And so it has been a real boost to the marketing board. In fact, we saw an increase in export over the last year coming from marketing board as a direct result of the assistance provided. The EU has been providing funding under the various EDF, 90 VA, 10, we have just signed on to the 11th EDF. Under the 10th EDF, we have had funding to help start up the EPA unit, for example, Economic Partnership Agreement. We have had budgetary support coming from the European Union. Now that's grant funding. So for a country like Grenada, to be specific, where we have high debt and we cannot incur additional debt, then grant funding is what we need. And that has been provided. So while we still need to take advantage of market access, getting our goods, getting our people to go to Europe to provide their services, we still need assistance in these areas because we need to improve on our capacity.